a darker complex woman, dark-skinned black woman at that, African woman at that. You know how they say black women are at the bottom of the barrel? I feel like we are literally the ground, the concrete. We are the dirt. Because ain't no way that I'm sitting on this patio and all the black men that I see in this patio are with women of, and it's no shade to my sister girls, but I don't see them with not one black chocolate girl. They're all fair skinned, light skinned, or not black. And this is Atlanta. This is supposed to be Chocolate City. You want to know the only time that I have seen a black girl this whole time I was sitting here was walking with a white man. That's the only time that I saw a darker complex woman that looks like me.
Hey, what's going on? You know who it is. You know what it is. All right, you guys, peep game. This is your boy Town Biz. All right, so check this out. So I was listening to what this lady had to say, and I listened thoroughly what she had to say, but I'm going to tell you something that I caught. And one thing about me, if I'm really paying attention to something, I can really pick up on something and pick up insinuation or maybe something else. It might be a manifestation of what this person is really looking for, what they may desire. But I can tell you, you have to understand when people talk about the dating scene in a certain area, isn't very good or whatever. It could be because of just alone their failures and what they possibly are looking for. You know, people can sit up there and talk about what they ain't gonna settle for and they know they worth and all that kind of stuff. Well, hey, you may know your worth, but what if I don't respect your worth? That whatever. Because there is a such thing as overpricing yourself and pricing yourself out. You see that you see that on a wide scale, and that's what a lot of these women are doing. They're pricing themselves out. Okay. I know there's an old saying, the juice ain't worth the squeeze. Now it's to the point you don't want to go near the fucking tree. Okay. Maybe even go to the, for real, even go in the direction of the tree. So, some of these people are just the fruits that fall on the ground and stuff. And not to pick it up. You kind of just like, either kick it or just step on it. Whatever the case may be, depending on what type of shoes you got on. So, with that being said, I just think she ain't telling the whole story, because I've been to Atlanta a couple of times, and I've been to, I went to a few places. Keep in mind, I went there to cover Shakur Stevenson when he fought Jamel Herring. I saw plenty of black couples there. I saw plenty of darker skinned women with black men. I saw darker skinned black men with darker skinned black women. And then she said that she's African. Obviously, she's been in the States for a while, because it appears she doesn't have an accent. I think when it was all said and done, listening to what she said, because her key word towards the end say the only people I see with dark skinned black women are white men. And maybe that's what she actually looking for. And she decided to make this video to try to say, oh, well, a year later, if she ends up dating a white person, well, I tried to date black men and they didn't want me and all that kind of stuff. And it could be maybe she's the problem. A lot of times, and particularly with women, whether they want to admit it or not, why they have a lot of failed relationships is because a lot of times they are the problem. Yes, absolutely, the man can be the problem. Never said that a man can't be the problem, because there are some good women that get their heart broken or get ruined by terrible men. Of course they exist, but a lot of times that's what they like sometimes. Because this is what happens when you say you don't want a nice guy or a good man because they're boring, quote unquote. So, with that being said, I just think she's being very disingenuous, you know. And on another thing, Chocolate City is Washington, D.C., not Atlanta. Okay. Could it be that you have a terrible personality? See, I guarantee you, if somebody who had an encounter with her sees her video, I guarantee that they can counter everything she said in the video. Like, come on. I mean, if you looking for Brad, then just do you. But don't try this attack and this shaming tactic and say that black men don't like dark skinned black women, because I can tell you that's a complete fucking lie. Okay. But this just goes to prove that women are more, or black women are more, obsessed or more bothered by colorism. Because if you watch, segments on Pop the Balloon, the first thing that come out of a lot of these black women, oh, I like my man a little dark and all that kind of stuff. So, I've heard that. Being on I'm not extremely light skinned, but people consider my skin tone light skinned, because my mother, she was light skinned, so my father was dark skinned, so and my son's mother is about her complexion. So it's cap. But you see more women that seem to be, um, worried about colorism, or should I say, black women seem to have this thing. They just seem to have this thing where they're, you know, I don't know, where they seem to be worried about, a person's skin tone and stuff. You know, some people call it self hate, some people call it low self esteem, or whatever the case may be. But colorism has been a big hinder in our community. Me, I don't get it. I may make comments about somebody being light skinned because that's how you describe them. That's just something that has resonated with our community, our culture, whether we like it or not. But I'm not one of them people that'll say, "Oh, I don't like you because you're light skinned and I want a dark skinned woman," and all that kind of stuff. Like, I just never, was really tripping off that. I mean, wait a minute, y'all. Hold on. Sorry about that, y'all. There was something going on outside and stuff, so I had to peek out the window, make sure. Yeah, couples dispute as usual, but nevertheless, you know, I don't personally get involved and stuff like that. But you know, as I was saying, anyway, it just appears to me black women seem to be caught up with that more than black men. But like I said, I just never was into that kind of stuff. She never had to be too light, too dark. As long as I found her attractive, and for the most part, she was, a black woman. That's all I cared about. But this seems to be an issue more with women than per se men. I'm just keeping it 100. Some people say, "Oh, I don't agree with that," but I see most of these videos that get made where it seems like the woman, and particularly the black woman, is caught up in that. Oh, I like my man dark. I like my man a little on the lighter side, or whatever. I mean, does it really matter? I mean, I mean, there's no guarantee that a light skinned man to treat you better than a dark skinned man, or vice versa. So I just don't understand that. But this woman right here, she may be just looking for Mr. Charlie, or looking for a zaddy. And basically, to a certain degree, she might feel a little something about it. So basically, to try to, you know, make herself feel a lot better about it, she'll just try to say that, black men are not looking for chocolate girls in Atlanta, of all places. Come on now. Just keeping it a bug. If you desire, a divester, then do you. Anyway, that's all I got to say. It's your boy Town. I'm out.